Hello there, my crypto bit brothers and sisters. How in the world are you? I'm Pop Bulldog Rod, and over here's Papa Ron.
Hello, Rod.
Almost screwed up again. I'm thinking about you first and me second. That's what it is.
That's all right.
How you been doing?
Doing great in the old crypto world.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's doing about the same. Going down.
Yeah, I thought it
Time
was
to
kind
buy. Everything's on
retracing
sale.
here. Yeah, looked like it was
Everything's
headed
on
up there for a day, but
Yeah.
it's coming though. The day is coming where these babies are going to skyrocket.
Yep.
Just a matter
I'm getting
of
ready
time.
to hang on. I'm getting ready to hang on.
Yeah.
We're running out of time, though. We better buy some more.
That's exactly right. Matter of fact, the other day, Rod, in one of our videos, we talked about that phone app called Robinhood.
Oh, yeah.
Hope everybody remembers that. It's kind of a stock trading app, and the developers, a couple relatively young guys to compare to Rod and I, they decided to
Anybody's
add,
young compared to us.
that's right. They decided to add cryptocurrencies to their app. It's all done on the phone. They were going to start off with the top half dozen or so, but they were only going to trade, I think, Bitcoin and Ethereum to start. And the key for it is they were going to do it with no fees. Absolutely no fees. They were going to start in 5 states, and I think by the middle of this year, they were hoping to be in most states to fulfill all the rules and regulations as they went through. But and I know they were saying that you could sign up, and I think you could commit $1,000 to start or something.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Well, they're a new territory. That's not much with Bitcoin, but you know, it's a little less than a full Ethereum, I guess.
Oh.
But you know, as I read through the article, I said, "Well, I'm going to sign up and just see how long it takes them to get to our state, Utah." And I signed up, and I think my email said I was like 288,000 in line.
Oh, my.
And that was how many days ago, Rod? Honestly, I think it was Friday.
Yeah, it was about a week ago. That's right.
No, it wasn't a whole week. I'm talking
Oh,
3 days
yesterday?
ago.
Oh, 3 days ago? That's
But
what I meant.
then I came across this article here. There's now the waiting line is 1 million people waiting in line to join Robinhood's crypto trading.
Well, you're doing pretty good then.
I'm at the front of the line, baby.
You are.
Again, all this tells me is that this thing with crypto is rolling forth at unbelievable speeds.
It is.
1 million down already in I think it's 3 days.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But anyway, folks, if you get into this and get on it, be sure you understand what's going on with Robinhood. I mean, I've read pros and cons. I've read that it really isn't a place where you would buy Bitcoin and actually take possession of it into your own personalized wallet. I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm just saying make sure you understand, because I haven't thoroughly investigated this app and see what the criteria is for the crypto. I know they claim they're not having any fees. They wanted to give themselves some big recognition, which they have. So,
yeah, million people, they ought to have.
Yeah, check into it. And then I came across another article, Rod, that's kind of interesting. You know, we've heard of hacks and people hacking Bitcoin and things like that. Well, I guess now I forgot the. You have the article. Or what country are we talking about? Is it over in UK somewhere?
Yeah, it's Britain. British.
Okay, and
it's British.
I guess there's one of the guys that's high up into the crypto world. He does some kind of business where he trades. Anyway, he's kind of exposed out there, and through some of the social media, they've used his real name. And we can learn some things from this article, folks. Evidently, he gets a knock on the door one night, and 4 masked armed men come into his home and rob him for cryptocurrency. And they hold him at gunpoint. Whoops, thought I'd change that. Your Bitcoin of your life. British crypto trader target of armed robbery holdup.
Oh, my heck.
Well, yeah, can you imagine? And I guess they come in with their wallet addresses and have him start transferring crypto over to him. It's actually a armed... And you know, as these things become more and more valuable, just think if Bitcoin was up to 40,000, 50,000, Rod. I mean, all of us could be targets.
Yeah.
For something like this. I mean, the wealth of these things.
We live in the Caribbean.
Yeah. That's right.
I'm going to start wearing my Caribbean shirt more.
All the time, huh? Yeah, good point. But it's interesting now that, and we know there's plenty of scams. And folks, if you're new getting into this crypto industry, I'm telling you, the scams and all these Ponzi, you've got to be on your A game or you'll be getting sucked into something. I mean, you got to learn this stuff a little bit.
So true.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was interesting about them holding him up in his home and then pulling out.
I never have thought anything like that.
And get him on his computer and say, all right, here's our address. Now transfer 10 Bitcoins here and we want about 20 Ethereum and oh my heck. Serious stuff. So anyway, again, you probably want to keep your identity as quiet as you can. And not like a couple of idiots like us, you know, we're all over the internet. That's a good thing we only own about 10% of a Bitcoin, huh, Rod?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
I don't own a whole one, you know. I don't own any whole ones.
Yeah.
Everything I got's only a penny anyway.
That's right. Those 10 for a penny coins. You have a few whole ones of those.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we named this topic tonight, the top 10 crypto coins, and we're addressing that being on the coin market cap. And so we didn't want to. Let me tell you why. I've had a couple emails recently, and people want to kind of know. You know, we've talked about proof of stake coins and wallets and master nodes and how all that's good passive income, and Rod and I have all that going on. So we get emails saying, well, what masternodes are you in, and what's a good proof of stake coin? How can I get involved with these things that give me a income regularly like that? And we don't want to lead anybody astray, and you know, you need to do your own homework. But it got us thinking that, and we did a video just last week, Rod, about 3 types of coins to get involved in.
Yeah.
The number one is safe and secure coins. Ones that you know are going to be there at the end of the day, and that technology isn't going to, well, could outstrip them, but they're the ones that you should have some of your investment money in.
Yeah.
And obviously that falls in the top 10 coin market cap or market cap coins. Not necessarily have to be on coin market cap.
You know, and I think I've heard too that really you need to have your favorite coin or the coin that does good for you, at least 30% of your portfolio in that coin. That's what I've heard. I don't know what the magic number is, but
no, that could be. I don't know exactly what percentages are suggested either. But, you know, 30, 40% in something like, let's look at that too. You know, most of us, and we're not going to drag this out, folks, but, you know, the number one coin that's been at the top of the heap is Bitcoin.
Yep.
And
there ain't very many people who can afford $11,000 for one coin.
No, and that's part of the, I don't want to say problem, Rod, but people shy away from Bitcoin because they say, well, God, if I go to Litecoin, which is great, I could get into a whole coin for $200, and that rationale makes sense, and that's part of the top 10. So I'm good with that. But
yeah,
if
but you know, you don't have to with Bitcoin though, Ron. You don't have to buy a whole coin. You know, if you can buy half of it or 3/4, a quarter of it even.
Yeah.
You know, or a couple $100 like I do.
And that was my point. That was where we're getting into. You don't have to buy a whole coin. But again, we're Ethereum is number 2. Now, back to Bitcoin, you can see up here, it has 33% of the whole market cap, folks. I mean, it's $189 billion worth of market cap behind that thing. And there's enough infrastructure out there to support it as being the number 1. And we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, if you think that's too high, I mean, drop 30% of your portfolio into maybe Ethereum and Litecoin. Yeah. We know what Ethereum's trying to accomplish. Most people have been through that, and they're even 114 billion in market cap exposure. You get down to Ripple being number 3, and here's a price point, $1.31 for an XRP. There's a reason they're up there in this top 10, Rod. Yeah. Most people know what Ripple does. We don't probably have to bore you with that. Bitcoin Cash being a fork of Bitcoin. Obviously, they wanted to solve the problem of being too slow on verifications like Bitcoin is, and reduce the fees. And that's a valid point. I mean, Bitcoin stays up at the top, but they still have some problems they've got to get solved. And I know they're working on Lightning Network and a few things, but you know, there shouldn't be this big dispute between the miners or whoever it is, and it's all over money. It's greed.
That's right.
It's just too bad because they could.
Everybody could enjoy this. Yeah.
And it forces people to go to other tokens and coins because they don't want to mess with that dang fees and slow. And we've even fought that, Rod. It's hindered us at times, too.
It has.
Bitcoin Cash, again, I think I'm just surprised they have stayed up here. And I know there's been a lot of push for it. I still don't ever think it's going to take Bitcoin out of that spot. I know that's their goal, but Bitcoin has such an infrastructure behind it that to knock them off the top rung like that, I'm just not sure it's going to happen.
Well, still, though, it'd be a good one to keep some money in or investment in, because you know it's going to go up.
Yeah, and I think it will go up too. You're right.
I do too.
So, could be. Cardano, number 5, which is ADA, A-D-A. Again, competing a little bit with Ethereum, I believe. Smart contracts. I think they want to be like the smart future, smart something. But ADA, and again, you're at 61 cents. Again, I know they have a lot of tokens, and that's why they're up there, but they've got a solid platform. Same with Neo.
Oh,
Neo, weren't they called the Japan Ethereum or something?
Yeah. Weren't they ant coins at one time?
Yeah, ant coins evolved into Neo. And look at what they're at, $172 now, Rod.
Yeah. Gosh.
Unbelievable. It's not unbelievable.
And they hadn't been here that long, only a year, right? Since they were ant coin?
Yeah, the transfer, no, it wasn't even that. I think it was only like 6 or 7 months ago, if that. It might have been a little shorter than that time.
Up to number 6 and $172. Yeah, that's a good one to get in.
And they're only 65 million.
I know. So that means it's going to really go up at one point.
Folks, and that's a good thing to point out. I mean, you look at ADA, 61 cents. You look at Neo, 172, and a lot of that is a reflection of how many coins and tokens they have on the market. I mean, scarcity does drive up price.
It does.
Not that it's scarce yet, but the fewer tokens out there, it's going to reflect that, especially in the future. Mm-hmm. Then you got Stellar Lumens, 57 cents. The one of the developers of that broke off a Ripple, kind of using the same type of platform to solve cross-border payments. So they're out there too, and they've moved up. And I never would have thought they'd have been in the top 10 either, Rod, and there they are.
Yeah, I know.
Interesting. Very interesting. Litecoin. We've all heard and know about Litecoin. I mean, Rod,
Yeah,
I can.
Litecoin is an interesting one. You stop and think about it. It used to be a number two or number three on the market cap, and then it's kind of dropped down with the old Mr. Lee deciding to sell out all of his stuff. I know he's doing something, with it, and it'll probably become really good. But right now, it's just dropped down so far. Unbelievable.
Well, Rod, even you own more Litecoin than Charlie Lee anymore.
I know that's true. I mean, I like the platform. Don't get me wrong. I really like the platform. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I'm reading about Mr. Lee is starting to sway my opinion of him.
He is definitely planning for the future of this whole crypto industry. And folks, there's things going on, I believe, behind the scenes, like with Charlie Lee selling out all his Litecoin. And I heard today or yesterday that he's in negotiation. It was on Twitter, I believe, that he's maybe syncing up a partnership with Monero to help provide the privacy aspect of these trades. But with these atomic swaps and all, even though Litecoin has moved down to number 8, Rod, I have a hefty position in Litecoin. I think that thing is headed somewhere this year because of the futuristic aspect of where all this is headed. And I think Charlie Lee is on the cutting edge of it. I believe he is planning things that none of us even know about yet.
That could be true.
I think it is. Then you got EOS. They claim to be the Ethereum killer.
I love it. That's kind of like Bitcoin Cash is going to be the Bitcoin killer, right?
Yeah. EOS, though, I don't know. I mean, they might. I don't think they're going to kick Ethereum out of the crypto land, but I think they could really evolve and be up there with them. Both of them being very successful. EOS claims that their smart contracts are written in everyday coded language that a lot of people that understand coding can get into it, where Ethereum has created their own language, much more difficult to construct a smart contract and all.
Yeah.
So,
but the difference with me and Ethereum and EOS is I don't know. I was going to say the amount of coins. Ethereum's got less circulating supply than EOS, even though EOS is below 1 billion, and I usually go for anything less than 1 billion coins circulating.
But and I don't understand a lot of this too, Rod, as far as the technical side of it.
Yeah, I don't either.
But you got EOS and Ethereum. We've already seen Ethereum have problems with their blockchain, like when that kitty thing went rampant. I mean, it really slowed them down. I mean, they've got to scale up to that, where EOS says, man, we can handle anything. Matter of fact, the more programs on us, the better we'll run, baby. It's so I don't know. Even though there might be a lot of coin difference, EOS I think they're going places too. That'd be a safe bet.
Yeah, I think it would be.
And then right now, number 10, which isn't a lot higher than number 11, but you got NEM. XEM is their token. And even though they've had that big hack out of that Japanese exchange for, what was it, 50 million XEM coins?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, they've rebounded pretty good from that. Everybody thought that would really hinder them, and it did. They took a hit, but they're back up to 91 cents. Matter of fact, let's look at that chart real quick. And I would bet January 17th. Well,
that was a dip there. It was a big dip in January 17th.
I think that happened just in the last week, though. There we go.
Yeah.
That's probably right then. But look at the volume and how that rebounded. I mean, it took a hit there. Really, this is 24-hour volume. Did I get that wrong?
7-day.
Oh yeah, the dates are on the bottom here. Sorry. So yeah, it went down, but look at that. It didn't stay down, but less than a day, and man, it rebounded pretty dang quick. NEM's a good choice. We've had the vice president of NEM on our show, and we've talked to him personally a few times, and he is sold on what they're trying to do and accomplish. And again, over in Japan, they love NEM over there, XEM, and they're supportive of it. As a matter of fact, we showed that on one of our shows, Rods. If you go to the exchanges, Coin Market Cap exchanges, they have an exchange. An exchange, what's the word I'm looking for, Rod? Just like this shows you all the various coins, they have something like this that lists all the exchanges and how they number in according to market cap, the number one exchanges. And it's interesting, if you look at the exchanges that are over there in Asia, Japan and South Korea and stuff, and look at what their number one coins are, it's not Bitcoin and Ethereum in sales. It's things like EOS and NEM's up there, and EOS, I can't remember what the other one was. But anyway, their top couple are different than exchanges like Coinbase and Poloniex and some of the other huge ones. The Asian ones there, it's just interesting how it's reversed. Now, Bitcoin and Ethereum is right up there like number 3 and 4, but their top two is even different. So, folks, to recap, go ahead.
I want you to kind of look at the top 10, and then which one of the top 10 is climbing steadily. It has no decline hardly at all.
Number 6?
Which one? Number 6, that's NEO. Look at that thing, man. It just keeps right on going.
Yeah, it's...
That's interesting. That's an interesting chart there, I think.
There's year-to-date right there.
Yeah.
They had a massive volume of sell-off and stuff back in...
May.
Yeah, back in May. But you're right. It's progressively headed up, huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's just right on up. I mean...
And why didn't we anyway, I'm going to have a long talk with you after this show about talking me out of some of these coins. We had a slug up and let's get rid of those things.
Yeah, I had coin.
And now that all these cryptos have gone nuts, Rod says, we ain't selling a thing.
Nope. We ain't selling nothing.
His middle name is now Hodl.
Bye, bye, bye. Hey, what was that song? Bye, bye, bye. Well, no, I don't want to go there. I can't sing.
Thank you. To recap, folks, if you're looking at the long shots, they'll make you some money, but the solid, and these things are going to go astronomically berserk too. As people flood into this market, they don't know anything about proof of stake or master nodes. And yeah, they might learn, but they're going to continue to buy these safe bets. And we should have a percentage of our portfolio in them.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just something we should do. Folks, thanks for watching us.
Appreciate you. Be sure to give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And God bless.